Ladies and gentlemen, on the 6th of May last year, Times Now exposed Pak ke Dalals. Today, on the 18th of January, Times Now stands vindicated and its report confirmed as the NIA filed a 13,000-page charge sheet that named the who's who of the Hurriyat leadership and also Kashmiri businessmen and how they were working as a planned conspiracy orchestrated from across the border by terrorist organizations led by Hafiz Saeed and Syed Salahuddin. Now, let's look at the facts of the case and what the NIA charge sheet confirms. Pak Dalals and their terror masters work hand in hand. It's a 6-month investigate and Saeed funds Hurriyat to engineer unrest. Dalals brainwash J&K youth to pelt stones. Let's put that on air if we can. Pak funds separatism. The entire nexus is out. This is the entire flowchart. Pak proxies that were funded to bleed our braves in the valley. Now, this is the entire flowchart. Pakistan sends funds to Dalals. The funds are received through Hawala conduits. Zahur Watali, one of the businessmen who acted as a conduit, helped the laundering, remitted the money to Hurriyat leaders. This was raised through illegal profits from the LOC barter and routed through bogus companies. This is the entire network that is being set up. The other aspect is the 10 people who stand named in the NIA charge sheet, and look at these names very, very carefully, ladies and gentlemen, as we put out these names. Syed Salahuddin, the Jaish-e-Mohammed chief, tops that list. 2611 Hafiz, mastermind Hafiz Saeed follows. Then you have Aftab Hilali Shah, Farooq Ahmad Dar, Bitta Karate, named in it. Naeem Khan, named. National Front chairman. Altaf Ahmad Shah, son-in-law of SAS Gilani, named in it. Ayaz Akbar Khande, also named. He's the Hurriyat spokesperson. Then you have Raja Mehrajuddin Kalwal, Syed Ali Shah Gilani's aide. You also have Bashir Ahmad Bhatt, alias Peer Saifullah. Then Zahur Watali, businessman. This is the entire nexus that stands exposed today. Nikunj Garg, our senior editor, Internal Security, joins us on Nation Wants to Know. Nikunj, this is a comprehensive assessment of the terror program that was being run for more than a decade, and the NIA has filed in a 13,000-page charge sheet. It's not a flabby document, it's a document full of meat that exposes the doings of these people who have their allegiance to their Pak pay masters, but what they have done is stab the people of Kashmir and India behind their back.
Well, absolutely, Anand. The fact of the matter is that this charge sheet, the Hurriyat spokesperson who are still out in the open and who have still not been named, if they dare to call it a flabby document or a figment of imagination or whatever, will unravel itself in a trial process, and that trial process will for the first time build heat in the judicial realm on the top leadership of Hurriyat Conference, and alongside the ongoing investigations, which I am quite sure very, very shortly reach at the top doors of the top bosses of the Hurriyat Conference, like Mirwais Umar Farooq, who came out today flustered addressing a press conference, or Syed Ali Shah Gilani, are the twin pitchfork kind of situation that these Hurriyat bosses would find very difficult to wriggle out of. The problem is that the judicial processes consume time. Until the time judicial processes consume time, you cannot assume that a person is guilty, or you cannot nail a person's guilt in a comprehensive manner, and that gives these people a window to call any documentary evidence that is even produced in a court of law a flabby document. I would say that the National Investigation Agency has done a thorough job, a painstaking investigation, and it will certainly come to fruition in a court of law, and from there on these individuals will have no place to hide but their rightful place, that is behind the bars.
Right. Yes, Nikunj, please stay on with us. Now, what we did is we are asking a question. Will those apologists still run to embrace these Dalals? Will they still pander to them? That's the question. We tracked down some of these apologists, put the hard questions across to them, but all they did was duck and dodge. Listen in, watch the sequences.
But sir, you have been organizing such meetings. Where do you still think there should be talks between Pakistan separatist leaders and the government of India? Because clearly we have been seeing that.
Yeah, I'm for dialogue between India and Pakistan.
But sir, in the charge sheet, it's clearly written that how these separatists have involved in terror funding. Do you still think that there should be talks?
You know, the case should continue, the trial should take place. It was just the beginning of the trial after the charge sheet. And these are two different things. Talking for peace and creating a climate of trust and confidence. The talks are taking place. The two NIA have just met. So everyone is in fear of talks. Government also is interested in talks.
Yes,
otherwise
but then
the NSA wouldn't have met.
But then if their names are written in, I mean, they have been charge sheeted.
Everyone's aim is to create a climate of trust and confidence and ensure that there is no problem, there is no terrorism, there is peace, tranquility and development and prosperity all around.
But sir, do you think...
Is that not the aim of the government of India?
It is the aim, but at the same time, when why should we give platform to people who are involved in terror funding and also trying to, raise unrest in the valleys?
Well, those who have done it, the law will take its own course, and we should try and make everyone understand that terrorism does not pay. It is harmful and dangerous for everyone.
Hello, is this Mr. Kapil Kak?
Yes.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. This is Tushar from Times Now.
Yeah, Tushar.
Tushar from Times Now. Sir, I needed your reaction on one of the story that NIA has filed a charge sheet against the Hurriyat leaders, telling that they are in connection with the Pakistan's money and they are the ones who is disrupting the peace in the valley by causing mayhem, by attacks on.
But unfortunately, Tushar, I can't respond to you. I'm sitting in a minute I'll be in an aircraft, so it's not
so just you can give me a quick reaction over the phone that I can quote you, because
they're just moving. I can't talk on this.
The former Air Vice Marshal hears out the full question, has all the time to do that, but then suddenly decides the plane is moving, aircraft is moving, and I can't answer your question. Now, will this lobby stop asking for dialogue with Dalals? Will they stop knocking on their doors? That's the question. Will Kashmir come out and outrightly reject this treachery? Because what they did was अपने घर पक्के कर लिए, लेकिन वहाँ कश्मीर में नौजवानों के हाथों में पत्थर पकड़ा दिए. That's what they have done. And that's the biggest treachery that they have done, because it is a planned conspiracy. There is nothing indigenous about what happened and what is happening in the valley. Babar Qadri, good evening. Brigadier Mahalingam, good evening. Sir, before I come across to you, just quickly going across to Pradeep Datta. Pradeep, what is the response to the NIA charge sheet on ground? Are the people of Jammu and Kashmir saying, we have had enough of this treachery, let's put all these people behind bars, let's weed them out of this society and let Kashmir and India move on?
Except for few peaceniks and Pak apologists, the people in Kashmir are very happy with whatever is happening. We have seen that few months back when many of these Hurriyat leaders were arrested, there was no reactionary response. They were expecting that beating chest people of Kashmir will be coming out on streets. People of Kashmir very well understand that how these people had been in fact taking money from across the border. Their hands are soaked in the blood. They are nothing. They are no freedom fighters, but they are the terror ATM machine, getting money from across the border, trying to instigate the youngsters and getting them killed for their vested interests. This also bursts that theory of alienation which is often being propagated by them as a gospel truth. There is nothing called alienation. This was basically the sponsored, in fact, a protest going on in Kashmir Valley, where the youngsters were provided money from their contacts who were working and operating on the ground. So people of Kashmir Valley are quite happy. They are silent. Silent majority doesn't want to speak. They don't want to come out. But there is no reactionary response except for these Hurriyat leaders who are feeling the heat. We have seen that Mirwais as well as Yasin Malik came out and gave a press conference because they are finding the noose tightened against them.
Pradeep, thanks for your inputs. Nikunj Garg stays on with us. Nikunj, as we open up the debate, dive in as these guests, as the guests offer their opinions. Just jump in when you have a point to prove or a point to make, because you've been following the NIA charge sheet and also the work of the NIA right through. You were also there in Srinagar tracking some of the arrests that were made at very critical junctures that actually crippled this entire conspiracy that was being mooted. Babar Qadri and Brigadier Malingam. Brigadier Malingam, let me start with you, sir. How would you see this response that's coming in from the likes of Majid Haidari and others who believe that this is just a document? A charge sheet does not prove conviction or guilt. Do you agree, disagree with that, or do you believe that this is perhaps the most comprehensive exercise undertaken to weed out the ills, those who are wanting to bleed India with 1,000 cuts on our own soil?
Unfortunate that some of these people can't understand. In fact, I heard one of your guests saying that law will take its own course. The problem in J&K started in 1989, and 28 years have passed and law unfortunately has not taken its course. And this is for the first time that these people have been brought under some sort of a system of being brought to book. And now these people, very people, are saying that they will change their mind perhaps. That is what is in their mind. Now my point is, if these are the people who funded terror till very recently, have they changed their mind all of a sudden? If that is a case, they ought to have come out and told the government and the people of Kashmir, we are stopping all this, no more trouble in the valley. They did not do that. Obviously, these are the lot of people who are supporters of these Hurriyat, and these separatists are a menace to this country and to the entire world.
True. Babar Qadri, how do you want to respond to this?
May I come in? First of all, I may correct first thing that the movement is sponsored. No movement in the world has sustained for 70 years that is being sponsored by someone else. That means there is a sentiment in Kashmir that is actually compelling the people to think about the freedom and the occupation. Now, second question is, let me finish it.
In 1948, they were paid for mercenaries.
The charge sheet
for mercenaries in 1948, and from there on they continued to be paid for. That's the reality, Babar Qadri. I hope you remember your history.
Narasimhan, the ruler of Pakistan, Musharraf, not once, at least thrice he has said, we have been supporting this terror element, we have been funding them and training them. And the arms that have come into the valley runs into tons of them. And where have they come? And if these people have not sponsored it,
that means the arms are being transported through the borders and your army is collaborating with them.
My foot that the army is being supporting them and this thing.
They are coming in.
You are coming in
fruits and vegetable vehicles that are coming as part of the barter and what the Kashmiris say, trade between our own people. Understand that, Mr. Babar Qadri.
If you allow me to speak on the subject of NIA, you are not allowing me to speak on the subject of NIA.
Yeah. Go ahead.
See, today
I'm saying that please utter facts. You're a learned man.
Challenged you people. If you have proofs, arrest them. Why don't you arrest JRL?
They are challenging you. Talking of proof. Now the NIA has gone into the court.
I am saying if you have proof, Yasin Malik Saab, Mirwais Saab, Gilani Saab say come and arrest us.
Do you think that Musharraf has told a lie?
If you have proof. Why you are trying to create pressure points? You are trying to blackmail. You are trying to use double-sided sword. On the one hand, you want to blackmail them. On the other hand, you want to defame them.
Right. Nikunj wants to respond to you, Babar Qadri. Yeah, Nikunj.
Babar Qadri, first of all, shame on you. Shame on you for saying that the Indian Army is collaborating with any kind of anti-national forces. The Indian Army is the most patriotic force in this country and in the world. They are not collaborating with your mass murderers.
I have not said.
So mind your words. This channel is not a platform for anti-national elements like you.
I am not saying this.
The fact of the matter is you are taking the advantage, you and your Kashmiri supporters of terrorists are taking advantage of the terrain, taking money from both sides and inciting trouble in the valley. This is what you people have done over the years.
It does not behave to a reporter to say like this.
And the fact of the matter is,
if you are giving leadership to be
fact of the matter is that this country has tolerated this menace and the nuisance for a very long time, and this should have ended much long back, but unfortunately this country is governed by the rule of law, which you people have little or scant regard for.
I am sorry to say that's why you arrested Bilal Kala after so much time. You are responsible for all that is taking place. You are responsible. You killed more than 1 lakh people, unarmed Kashmiris. You are telling me that
I tell you, just calm down. Calm down. Brigadier Malingam and Babar Qadri, calm down. Babar Qadri, wait. Babar Qadri, you see, what happens is, Babar Qadri, with your eyes, you never see the lives. Please hear me out. Why is it, Babar Qadri, if your movement and what you call your secessionist or your separatist mindset is fueled by... Hear me out. However you want to say. Let me get to the question. I've limited. Let me get to the question. Babar Qadri, don't shout. Babar Qadri, don't. I don't want to shout. Hear me out. If you believe in an independent Kashmir, let's say secessionist, occupation, whatever it is, I disagree with you. You hold on to that view. But if you believe in an independent Kashmir, sir, how is it that you always see Indian forces, Indian pellets, etc., but the Pakistani bullets, the Pakistani dirty money, the Pakistani lives, Pakistani machinations that have spoiled Kashmiri lives never are seen by you? They are never seen or criticized by you. Why should SAS Gilani, listen, why should SAS Gilani, Meerwise or anybody take 1 naya paisa from Pakistan? If your goal is to be independent of both India and Pakistan, you tell me. So how are you not corrupted? How are you not partisan? How are you trying to say this is indigenous?
I have not received a single penny from Pakistan. I challenge you.
So then those who are taking money from Pakistan are not part of your movement. You should criticize them. You should disassociate yourself from them. You should tell them you don't want them in Kashmir. You don't say that. You don't say that. Why don't you say that? Why don't you say that? Why don't you say that about Meerwise, Yasin Malik? You attach Saab to Hafiz Saeed and to Gilani and to Meerwise. But that's what I'm trying to say.
Why don't you accept challenge of JRL? Why don't you accept challenge of leadership?
There itself you stand exposed. In logon ne, these are people who did not give kitab and kalam to the children of Kashmir. They gave them stones and grenades. Now you tell me how have they done a service for the people and the students and the children of Kashmir? They have not done it. So you should turn around and ask them too if you really believe in the ideal of an independent Kashmir, because you don't. Sir, you're batting for people who have sold themselves. You see Syed Ali Shah Gilani's house today in Kashmir. 1, it is occupied. 2, it is a palace. At the cost of whom? Who paid for all of that if he really was fighting a cause for the people of Kashmir? They are not. That's what happened. Why don't you ask these questions? Why don't you ask these questions? How is Meerwise sitting on a mimbar? How is Meerwise sitting on a mimbar? Is that not an outright insult to Islam itself? And the Prophet never did that. How is he doing it? You never asked that question. They are allowed to do everything. Usko aap nazarandaz kar dete ho. Why? How is that fair, sir? And that's what this charge sheet is going to prove. That these are all people who are working through an orchestrated campaign to hurt Kashmir and to hurt India. That's the reality, sir. I have to take a very short break.